Friday Night Lights, you're looking live at Houston Texans players warming up at SoFi Stadium about an hour before the preseason game against the LA Rams gets underway. Quarterback Davis Mills, he'll see more playing time tonight, but all eyes tonight will be on defensive rookie Derek Stingley Jr., the Texans' number 3 overall pick. Could he play tonight? You might see his NFL debut. Right now you're watching Kaimi Fairbairn practicing some kicks. We're going to break it all down. We'll have an exclusive one-on-one with Texans wide receiver Chris Moore. It's all coming up. Texans Unlimited Live, presented by Verizon, starts now.
Welcome to our coverage of Houston Texans football.
You already know what time it is, man.
Where would you rather be right now, man?
Let's go, Texans! Let's go!
Welcome into Texans Unlimited Live, presented by Verizon. It's week 2. The Texans are on the road for their only road game of the preseason. They'll be playing the Super Bowl defending LA Rams tonight. And head coach Lovie Smith said it's a big test for this team as they get their roster down. They'll be trimming it down a little bit more on Tuesday as they get it down from 85 to 80 players. But tonight, Derek Stingley could make his NFL debut. And what about Kenyon Green? He returned to practice this week after suffering a concussion. The other first-round pick for the Texans hasn't played yet, but he will also be making his debut sometime in the preseason, if not tonight. All right, Kyle Allen, the quarterback, he missed last week's preseason opener. He also returned to practice this week. We'll see him tonight after Davis Mills leaves the game. But first, let's get into your quick hits presented by BMW. The run game got a big boost last week when Dameon Pierce rushed for 49 yards on 5 carries. Did he do enough to earn the starting role of running back? Head coach Lovie Smith talked about what he wants to see out of that running backs group that consists of Marlon Mack, Dameon Pierce, and Ollie Rust.
Oh, I think if you let guys play, they kind of tell you who should start, who should be on the roster, how many plays they should get. And last week, we've been going through, training camp practice. We've seen a lot. But to see guys finish, I thought that was a big game. Of course, we talk a lot about Damon. And then you have history a little bit, too, on what we've seen from some of the veteran players. It's good competition there. They all have a certain strength, and we'll let it play out.
In the final 30 seconds of last week's preseason win against the Saints, the Texans did just enough to pull out a victory. But offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton says there's still plenty of room for improvement.
I feel like, we have a chance to be a tough unit, but we have to be tough, smart, and disciplined at the same time. There were way too many times where we put ourselves behind the chains. I think we had more than 5 situations where we had over 3rd and 10, and that's not winning football. So we got to do a better job that way. But at the end of the day, for the first opportunity to go out and play in a real football environment, our guys showed that we have the potential to be tough.
Defensive lineman Thomas Booker, the 5th-round pick out of Stanford, he played in his first NFL game last week, also got his first sack. He talked about what that was like suiting up for his first NFL game.
Yeah. I talked to Kurt Hinish about it for sure. And I think one of those deals where, as a freshman in college, before I got into my first game, you have those jitters about, all right, will I be able to do what I did at the previous level of this one? I think a similar thing happens. I wasn't as nervous this time because, you get your confidence in the practice field. So I think that I've progressed, day over day, week over week with the help of all the guys in the D-line throughout that time. So just try to come out there and treat it like a much more formal version of practice. You're doing the same thing, you're applying the same technique. Don't let everything go out of the window just because you're playing somebody else with different colors on.
And joining us live from SoFi Stadium along the sidelines, our very own sideline host, John Harris. Johnny, welcome in. How's the weather like there in L.A.?
I'm playing the game Find a Cloud, and I'm losing because there are none. We got off the plane yesterday, and it was 74 degrees. I thought I'd gone to heaven. It's a little bit warmer. I'll tell you this. It's a little bit warmer inside the building, but then again, I've been walking around this place for seemingly 2 hours. So it's a beautiful building and can't wait for this game tonight.
All right, Johnny. Yeah, don't make me jealous. It's been raining nonstop in Houston, but you know what? We're just happy to see these guys playing on the road. Another game underway. We've got some fan Q&A presented by Daikin. Our first question comes from Ryan. He says, what are you most excited to watch, offense or defense? Johnny, I'll let you go first.
Well, I think it's defense, DP, just because we could see Derek Stingley tonight. And I heard you doing quick hits talking about Kenyon Green. If I were a betting man, I would bet against seeing him. He just hasn't had enough practice time. And they've got a short week with the San Francisco 49ers coming to NRG on Thursday. So I don't think we will see him tonight, but we could see Derek Stingley. And so I'm really excited to see Sting against the Rams quarterbacks, John Wolford and Bryce Perkins. If you go, well, wait, Matt Stafford. No, Matt Stafford's not going to play in the preseason. I don't think he will ever play again in the preseason. But we could very well see number 24 tonight, and that's going to make Texans fans very excited.
Yeah, Sean McVay doesn't like to play his starters in the preseason, and we're looking live at Derek Stingley warming up. He's wearing number 24 there. Johnny, I got to agree with you. I'm excited to see this defense tonight, too, because we saw what they were able to do last week. 5 sacks, a couple of takeaways, and Lovie Smith was disappointed that nobody scored. So maybe there's a touchdown in their future tonight, but it would be nice to see Derek Stingley, even if he's out there for just a few snaps, what he's able to do, shake off some of that rust. He hasn't played a game since last September when he was at LSU. All right, Jordan wants to know, everybody wants to know about these rookies, Johnny. Will Dameon Pierce get more snaps tonight?
He probably will, DP. I don't know how many more snaps he'll get. I mean, you talk about efficiency. He ran the ball 5 times. He was probably in on another 5 plays, I think. It was like 10 plays, and every play was really, really good. So I don't know that I really, honestly, want to see Dameon Pierce all that much because at running back, I mean, it takes 1 tackle. I just want to keep him fresh, put him in bubble wrap because I think Nick Caserio was able to find something in the 4th round with Dameon Pierce. So he might get a few more carries. I don't know. I don't know if we'll see Rex Burkhead tonight. We didn't last week. Hopefully we'll get another look at Marlon Mack, and I think Marlon's had a really good training camp. So I don't know how much we will see of Dameon Pierce tonight, and I'm okay with that because if he's 100% or as close to 100% as he can be for September 11th against the Colts, that's what matters.
Yeah, I think that's what happened last week. We got a little taste of Dameon Pierce. We wanted to see more, and then he was done for the game. I'm with you, Johnny. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him at all tonight. He's been practicing. He's a full go in practice, but maybe they've seen enough from him, and they don't want to risk any injuries, especially like you mentioned earlier. There's another game coming up on Thursday night, and I know that Lovie Smith said that players will get more and more reps as the preseason goes along, so maybe there's other guys they want to see. But if we don't see Dameon Pierce tonight, I wouldn't be overly concerned. He's been healthy. He's been fine in practice. And maybe that just means they've seen what they wanted to see from him and they like it so far. The numbers certainly showed that. All right. We talked about Kenyon Green. Sarah wanted to know, is he playing tonight? He might not be playing tonight. As Johnny mentioned, he just returned to practice this week. He had suffered a concussion. So I would not expect to see Kenyon Green tonight, but he's definitely trending in the right direction. All right. Carl wants to know, how much will Davis Mills play against the Rams? Johnny, I know Davis only played 2 series last week. It seems like he'll play a little bit more. Any guesses on how much more we'll see of Mills tonight?
I think the 2 series are probably about right as long as those are good series. I mean, last week, Marlon gets tackled in the backfield in the first play. You're 2nd and 12. The next series, there's a holding on the first play after Marlon picked up 6 yards, and now you're 1st and 20. They got to stay ahead of the chains. I think Pep Hamilton, and of course Lovie Smith as head coach, they want to see a clean series from Davis, a couple first downs. I said earlier talking to Sean and Seth on radio pregame, I want to see him throw the ball down the field. Just let all that angst out. No screens, nothing, that's just short stuff. Just let him, take 5 steps and air it out to the fastest guy that's playing tonight. And maybe that's Philip Dorsett. I don't know. But I've always been a big fan of letting your young quarterback, especially if he's not going to play a lot, which he shouldn't tonight, just get that angst all out early in the first 3 plays, throw one deep. It's a preseason game, so they pick it off. It's a long punt. If you hit on it, that's confidence because you haven't been hitting on the deep balls in practice. So hopefully with Davis, we see a series. If it doesn't go well, it's a 3 and out. Then go back out for the second series. But we got to see a clean series from out of Davis Mills and that first group, if you will.
All right, you've got
tonight.
a Rams question here for you, Johnny. Shelley wants to know, what's up with T.J. Carter on the Rams?
Ooh. Oh, T.J. Carter's a safety for my TCU. Now, here's an anomaly. How about this? You had to explain to me defensive back for the Rams because there are 2 T.J. Carters on the Los Angeles Rams. And it gets a little weirder, DP. The other T.J. Carter, we actually faced last week in Houston. He was a member of the Saints, and he's a defensive lineman, and he played for the Saints. Went back to work on Monday. He got waived. He was picked up subsequently, made a claim on him by the Rams, And apparently he'll be playing tonight, so there will be 2 TJ Carters in Rams uniforms tonight, which is really weird. And one of them we saw last week play for the Saints. So TJ Carter, the safety, we'll see a lot of, I would think, for the Rams, because we're not going to see Nick Scott. We're not going to see Jordan Fuller. So I think we're going to see a lot of the safety, TJ Carter, who's a really fun player to watch. He comes to hit people, and that's going to be fun for this receiver crew to see if they can
get to
avoid
see him
getting
again.
hit.
And actually, Johnny wrote about it. It's up on HoustonTexans.com. Some fun facts for the game tonight. All right, Johnny, we have time for one more question. Taylor wants to know, what do you expect from Jalen Petrie?
Well, I would imagine he'll start. Listen, last week we saw, I think, DP, really what we needed to see from Jalen Petrie. When he was on the field, and there were 22 players on the field at that time, Jalen Petrie was the best player on the field when he was out there. So, and look, not all the starters were out there, but Jalen Petrie is going to be a big-time player for this organization. To me, he's a 1. If you sat him for the next 2 games, I would be totally cool with that, because you've got to have him. He is going to be as important to this defense as any other player on the Texans roster on defense. If he plays tonight, I hope it's a series. Get him out, put him in bubble wrap, and start getting ready for September 11th.
All right, Johnny, so don't be concerned if you don't see much of Jalen Petrie tonight. It can only mean good things for the rookie. Johnny, we love seeing you. We'll see you back here in Houston. Have a great game tonight. And thank you so much for answering our fan questions.
Absolutely, DB. It's so good to talk to you. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, that's John Harris, sideline football analyst. You can hear him on Sports Radio 610, giving sideline updates throughout the game. Right now, let's get into our one-on-one. I had a chance to sit down with wide receiver Chris Moore a little bit earlier in the week. The Deep Slant 101 presented by Xfinity. Joining me today, wide receiver Chris Moore. Chris, it's got to feel good to be out here playing some preseason games. How has camp gone for you so far?
I mean, it's been good. It's like you said, it's great to be back out here just playing football and just working with the team.
You've made some pretty gorgeous catches out here in practice. When you think about the chemistry between you and Mills, how has it really improved from last year to this year?
I mean, it's improved a lot. We got a lot of off-season work. We did 2 trips where we went somewhere and threw together. So, I mean, I just think it's going to keep growing and keep building.
How important is that for quarterbacks and wide receivers to get together in the offseason? You guys obviously get a lot of work during the season, but what can you accomplish in the offseason that you can't accomplish during these normal practices?
We get more just chances to work on our timing, because the NFL is a big timing league. So you got to be able to – he has to trust where I'm going to be at, and I have to trust that he's going to throw the ball where I'm going to be at. So, I mean, it's very important to get that work in.
I mean, you worked with a lot of different with a lot of different quarterbacks. Year 7, is it more on the receiver to adjust their timing, or is it a little bit of the quarterback, or is it both?
I'm about to say it's a little bit of both. It's really, like I said, it's a trust thing, and we got to trust each other that I'm going to be in a spot and he's going to throw it to the spot.
I've got Terrence Brooks here watching you, and he's got some autographs. Terrence, do you want to say anything?
Oh, no, I just really like this guy. I just listen to him talk. He's a great guy. I love that guy. Love him.
We got a little audience of one. All right, Chris, so a lot of people have talked about Pep Hamilton running this offense. You were here last year. Without giving too much away, what's been the biggest difference with Pep running this offense?
I would just say, I mean, a lot of offenses have little similarities in it. So it's the NFL. You just got to learn the concepts and stuff. But, I mean, I think it's just the mentality that we're bringing to the offense. And I think once we show our identity throughout the season, we show who we are, it's going to be fun and successful.
What have you thought about the wide receivers group here so far? You've obviously got Brandon Cooks, but you got a lot of young guys as well. And Nico, you saw Nico's growth from last year to this year. As a whole, what do you like about the wide receivers?
I just like everybody. Nobody's selfish. Everybody is in here to do a job, and we all making each other better. We're all very smart guys. I think everybody studying the playbook knows almost every position. So it's great competition in there, and that just makes everybody better.
All right, you're obviously a veteran in the league. So when you look at your game, how is it that you can get better year over year working with a guy like Davis Mills?
Yeah, it just, for me, it's being more consistent and making sure that the quarterbacks can trust me and know where I am. And when they throw me the ball, they know that I'm going to make that catch for them. So that's just every year I come in the league and do another year, I'm just trying to just improve my consistency, really.
Did you do anything different in the offseason?
Besides, this was one of the first offseasons I really got to spend a lot of time with the quarterbacks like we said. So that was it. And then I started training with my one of my good friends, teammates. I did it last year, but it's now 2 years in a row, so I'm getting the feel for it, and so I feel like that's been helping me a lot.
So when you're working out with Davis Mills and the wide receivers and you guys are out, I know there's a lot of stuff that you guys do off the field to sort of bond. What was your most favorite thing that you did?
I'm a big food guy, so I like to eat.
Okay, yeah.
So we went to some nice restaurants, got some good food. We also went golfing too, so I've been getting into golf a lot lately, and so it's just fun. It's just fun to hang out with these guys outside of football because you get to relax and get just to talk about different things that aren't related to football. So it's great.
Well, we enjoy talking to you as always, Chris. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you for having me.
That was Chris Moore. He's in year 7, and we're looking live now at the quarterbacks warming up in the end zone there at SoFi Stadium. Let's answer some more of your fan questions. Kate wants to know who gets backup snaps after Davis Mills, and you're looking at him right there, Kate. Number 3, Kyle Allen. He did not play last week. He had personal reasons. He had missed practice, I think, the Thursday night before the game. Then he also missed the preseason game. He was back at practice this week, and the team was pretty much in game mode in their practice reps, and he was getting a majority of the reps after Davis Mills. So last week it was a lot of Jeff Driscoll. I would expect it to be a lot more Kyle Allen. He's the backup quarterback to Davis Mills, so expect to see more of him. He's in year 4, and he's been running the offense in practices this week. All right, Andrew wants to know, will the fullbacks get any carries? Andrew, that's a great question because we have several fullbacks on the team. One is Paul Quessenberry, who was here last year, and the other is Andy Janovich. And then we've got another fullback, Troy Hairston, who is actually a linebacker converted to a fullback. So we've got a trio of fullbacks. And I don't know. I think that it's going to be a pretty vanilla offense. But you know what? Crazier things have happened. So I think if the fullbacks get any care, I think they could get carries in the regular season. Not sure if that's going to be tonight, but maybe they want to see what they have in that fullback room because it's pretty crowded right now, and I don't see them keeping all 3 of those fullbacks when the roster cutdowns occur. All right, Javari from Miami. Any potential starters that didn't play last week playing tonight? That's a great question. Maybe Brandon Cooks, but I wouldn't be surprised, Javar, if we don't see Brandon Cooks or Laramie Tunsil or Justin Britt at all. I know I said Brandon Cooks, and now I'm taking it back. I think that those players, we probably won't see them tonight. If anybody gets a majority of playing time, it'll probably be in the 3rd preseason game. I would think that we might see Christian Kirksey tonight, and I'll put my bets on him. So I'd say Christian Kirksey tonight, and I think the O-line starters, we may have to wait another week or maybe till the regular season to see them because we kind of know what we have in them. And, Lovie Smith wants to see his depth there at some of those positions. All right, George wants to know, how do I watch the game? That's an easy one, George, so I'll answer that for you. You can watch it on ABC 13. And next week, the game's actually going to be on Amazon Prime. So tune into Channel 13 this week, and you can also catch it on Sports Radio 610. And you can also catch it on the Houston Texans mobile app if you are in Houston. All right, let's get to one more question. Timothy says, what are the expectations for Brevin Jordan? I would expect more of a game, more reps for Brevin Jordan tonight. Pharaoh Brown wasn't practicing the other day. He had some hamstring tightness, according to head coach Lovie Smith. So on the depth chart, Pharaoh Brown's listed as the starter, and behind him is Brevin Jordan. So I'd expect to see Brevin Jordan to see those snaps tonight. So Brevin Jordan, he's in year 2, and he's been doing some nice things in camp. Both the tight ends, you can expect to see more of their involvement in Pep Hamilton's offense. So I would expect some big things for Brevin Jordan tonight. And actually, that's going to bring us to our sleeper of the game presented by Mattress Firm. I could go Brevin Jordan, but I'm actually going to go quarterback Kyle Allen tonight because he got lots of reps in practice this week. We did not see much of him last week. Actually, on Texans All Access a few weeks ago, I was excited to see him in the preseason because I knew we were not going to see a whole lot of Davis Mills. I wanted to see what the QB depth looked like. So I was excited to see Kyle Allen. Did not get to see him last week. We had to wait a week, but looks like he will make his debut for the Texans tonight once Davis Mills is done for the night. So I'm going to pick Kyle Allen. I feel like he's going to do some nice things with this receiving core and with the ground game if they can get things shaken up and running tonight against this Rams defense. All right, well, that's going to do it for Texans Unlimited Live, presented by Verizon. We are about 40 minutes until kickoff. Of course, you can check it on ABC 13, the Houston Texans mobile app if you're in Houston, Sports Radio 610. You can also check out Texans 360 and Texans Extra Points tomorrow, Saturday night, like it always is, because even though we've got a game Friday, we still have our games on our other shows on Saturday. So catch all those. I will be on Texans Extra Points along with Sean Pendergast. So that's tomorrow night. And we've got one more preseason game remaining. It's next Thursday night. It's at home against the San Francisco 49ers, and tickets are available. You can go to HoustonTexans.com/tickets. That's going to do it for Texans Unlimited Live, presented by Verizon. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone that worked on our show, led by Tyler Marcotte, Amanda Caffey. Special thanks to John Harris, Scotty, JJ, everybody who worked on this show, and to all of you for watching. Stay tuned for the game. Have a great game day. And as always, go Texans.